Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online. If you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate it if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be going over a Rolex Day-Date 40 in yellow gold, entirely in yellow gold, with a champagne colored dial and index hour markers, reference number 228238. We'll be going over the case, the dial, bezel, crown functions, the movement, as well as the bracelet, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of those as we go through the video. All right, so beginning with the case, as indicated in its name, Day-Date 40, it is 40 millimeters in diameter. It has the monoblock middle case with the screw down case back and the winding crown to allow you up to 100 meters or 330 feet below sea level water resistance. All of this is entirely made in 18 karat yellow gold, all right, including a high polish, featuring a high polish along every single conceivable surface of this case, down to the lugs on the front as well as the side with the crown. All right, now right on the front of the dial here, right on the front of the case rather, is the fluted style bezel. Originally, the fluted style bezel was made for screwing directly onto the front of the case to ensure that waterproofness, but modern technologies have rendered that, well, kind of not really needed. So they managed to keep this fluted bezel look more as an ornamentation, is that even a word, as sort of like the overall aesthetic, because when you see this fluted bezel, you know that you're dealing with Rolex. It's a mark of distinction, and it's always made in gold. In this case, yellow gold, to match that of the case and even the dial. Speaking of which, the dial is a champagne colored dial, as you can see as I move it around through this light box. It has that sunburst type of effect, giving it sort of like a almost three-dimensional look as the sun rays, appear on that dial, giving you all these different values of this champagne colored dial. We have index style hour markers, which do have the chromolite display on them. If I turn the lights off, you can actually see that it does indeed glow in the dark. A very nice, kind of like a mid-tone between green and blue. All right, so both the hour and minute hands glow, along with all 10 of the index hour markers. All right, very easy to read at night, very, very useful indeed. Something that I've noticed with these Day-Date 40s is we tend to see a lot of people order the version with the Roman numerals, but I feel that the index hour markers is actually a lot more useful, and with the way that the colors look with the chromolite display really makes it a very distinct look that I particularly like. Combining the almost analogous color scheme of using the greenish with the yellow combined together makes it a very interesting look that you really miss with the Roman numerals, because Roman numerals don't glow in the dark. Index markers do. And I do like the clean overall presentation of the index marks, because Rolex tends to use the large version of the number 4, and the number 8 tends to be rather large too in terms of their Roman numerals. And so having all of their hour markers be exactly the same size, literally exactly the same size when it comes to the index hour marks, it gives it a very clean and breathable overall look. I actually really like the index style presentation here. All right, and taking a look at the 12 and the 3 o'clock position, we have the day and the date apertures. As indicated in its name, it's a day-date watch, named after these two added-in complications. All right, when it comes to the functions of this watch, works as you would expect. Simply unwind the crown to the first position. This allows you to wind the watch if you're at a dead stop. Simply wind it between 20 to 30 full times in order to reach your full power reserve. Once you start feeling that damping starting to ramp up and you start feeling a lot more resistance, that's when you're close to your actual top of the power reserve of your mainspring barrel. All right, pull the crown out to the next position, and rotating it clockwise allows you to advance the date by 1 in that date aperture window. And it's about a quarter turn, so the throw is actually very short in order to advance the date. If you find yourself on, say, the 30th of the month, today and tomorrow is the 1st of the next month, simply rotate it half Actually a little bit less than half, about 66% of the way, and you'll be on the 1st of the next month very easily. All right, and then rotate the crown counterclockwise, and you can advance the day aperture forward, much like how you would with the date aperture. All right, very easy to do so there. Also, same amount of throw, about a quarter turn to advance it by 1. All right, now pull the crown out to the final position. This gives you the hacking ability, effectively stopping the seconds hand right in its position, so you can then adjust the minute hand precisely as required. All right, press the crown back in and screw it tightly back against the case to ensure that superior water resistance. All right, so what makes all of this work? It is the 3255 caliber made in-house by Rolex. You can't see through the case back, but you're certainly getting your yellow gold's content worth here with this solid case back. Also, while we're here, we can also talk about the lugs. I want to touch on these lugs for a bit, because when you have a precious metal watch like a yellow gold watch, you will have these little hallmarks underneath the lugs to show you that you are indeed dealing with precious metals, only on gold style cases. Anyway, the movement on the inside, 3255 made in-house by Rolex, plus or minus 2 second per day time differential after casing, exceeding COSC and Swiss standards of timekeeping. It has the center hour, minute, and seconds hands all mounted there, with the instantaneous day and date in the apertures with unrestricted rapid setting, meaning that you can set the day or the date at any time of the day. You don't have to set it between, say 8 p.m. or rather 8 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. like older movements. This movement allows you to adjust the day or the date apertures even at 11:59 p.m. Although, I wouldn't really recommend it. You still could do that and it won't actually damage the movement. All right. When it comes to the oscillator, it also has the paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring with high performance Paraflex shock absorbers, as you would find in just about every Rolex to date. All right, so that means that you can get relatively close to magnets. You can take a few bumps here and there, and you'll still be keeping track of time just fine. No need to worry about the timekeeping there. It also has a bidirectional self-winding via perpetual rotor, which means that you can simply wind this to its fullest manually and then put it on your wrist, and your natural wrist movements will actually keep it wound up to its approximate 70-hour power reserve. Impressive for something that has so much complication in it. The date with the day aperture and, while maintaining time perfectly fine. That's almost 3 whole days. So you can set this down on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday morning. No need to wind the watch. Perfectly fine in that aspect. Now looking at the framing for this watch, we have the President style bracelet, combining the best of both worlds, the Oyster style with the Jubilee style. The Oyster style is 3-piece links. President style, also 3-piece links all the way across. The intermediate links down the center being a high polish. The outer links being a satin brush finishing with a high polish finishing on their sides. Satin brush finishing underneath. And the Jubilee style here makes its appearance with the semicircular links with all of that extra spacing in them. So the Oyster style links tend to be a little bit longer, about twice the size of a Jubilee style link. So here we have tiny links, which means a lot of space among all of these links, makes it for extremely comfortable, and you can advance the wrist very well. All right, very nice gentle taper down to the clasp. Here is the concealed folding crown clasp, and the only indication you have is the Rolex crown there to know where to open it. And to open it, simply get your finger underneath the top of the crown, pull it outward, and it opens very easily as you'd like. All right, there's the Rolex stamp on the inside with hallmarks additionally on the opening on the other side of the clasp, showing you that you are indeed dealing with precious metals, in this case, yellow gold. All right, while we're here, I can try it on the wrist and show you how it feels and give you some more of my thoughts as to its wearability. All right, so now this is a Day-Date 40 on a 7-inch wrist, 7-inch in circumference wrist, so kind of large in terms of its overall form factor. It has quite a wrist presence in terms of its size. Not a whole lot of bracelet on the top or bottom, but I'm certainly able to read that dial very clearly. And with the champagne style dial, it makes the index hour marks with the chromolite display actually stand out very, very nicely. Much more so than I would find with, say, Roman numeral hour marks or any other hour mark, really. The index markers, nice and long, very easy to read, with the chromolite display also on the minute and hour hands, very easy to read as well. All right, now taking a look at it on my wrist, the lugs sort of point outward. They don't really taper downward, so they don't dig into my wrist, but since they sort of taper outward, I get a little bit more venting space on the top of my wrist. Not a huge deal that, you know, it doesn't hug the wrist perfectly, but it does match with the venting that I get on the bracelet as well. Now looking at the bracelet as a counterweight, it does its job well enough, although with this Day-Date entirely with solid, you know, 18 karat yellow gold, it's quite a heavy chunker on the wrist. It's very noticeable when it's, you know, it's very likely to wobble on the wrist. So make sure that when you get this size, you get it sized just for you. More of a snug fit is obviously better, but keep in mind there's no Easy Link extension on here, so make sure that it is relatively snug, but not too tight. All right. So with that being said, it's incredibly comfortable with this President style bracelet. I've been testing out a President style bracelet on a watch, you know, for the past week or so, and it's actually incredibly comfortable. I have not felt a single drop of sweat, you know, accumulate underneath this sort of bracelet. And with so much spacing among all these links, there's no skin pinching, no hair pulling, nothing. Well, it's hard to say because I don't really have much hair to begin with, but you know what I mean. All right. So overall, an excellent choice for anyone who kind of like prefers the larger size watches, 40 millimeters and up. If your wrist is, you know, maybe like 8 inches in circumference or higher, this would be a definite buy for you. But, you know, enough of what I think. What do you think about this watch? Let us know down in the comments below. Be sure to like this video if you haven't already, and also subscribe so you can see future content like this, and also hit that bell notification so you'll be notified when it goes up. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, Day-Date, Datejust, Yachtmaster, Submariner, or even a completely different brand altogether, Panerai, who knows? Let us know on our website, jazztime.com. Links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in Jazz Time, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.